UKGarage.org.
Yeah, delinquent. It was then, yeah, as I was leaving uni, they did the remix of Caught Up by Usher, which caught my attention. Have you heard the Delinquent mix?
I'm not done.
I'll just send it to you. I have to lend you the CD. To lend you the CD. No, it's bad. It's like almost to the Speed Garage tip, but it's kind of bumpier and it's just a nice vibe. Nice for you. Yeah, they did that remix, which caught my attention. I was like, who are these guys? So I had a look around, tracked them down, and found that they had some tracks on the Garage Album CD, which was quite And yeah, it was Like a Feather, playing around. I think Ghetto Queen was on there, if I recall rightly. There was a few bits on there. I can't even remember where I was going with this. How did we get into this subject? Oh yeah, you're talking about my Delinquent? Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, I listened to those tracks and Playing Around in particular was one of my favourites at the time when he was probably still up there on the top 10 garage tracks all the time. And I tracked him down and I've followed them ever since. And like for 5 years odd until they split recently, I don't really know what happened, until they split recently, everything they did was just fire. I just loved it. So yeah, Delinquent were the reason that I went to Garage, and probably the reason I'm still making Garage to this point. And also, I think if you go through my tracks, certainly the bassline stuff that I was doing, as Phonetix and also as Robbie T a few years back, you can probably hear a lot of Delinquent influence in there. I am Phonetix. Also known as Robbie T, as you just mistakenly addressed me. I don't really do anything under that name.
I didn't know which one to address you as.
People get confused because like, people always say to me, Phonetix, are you Robbie T as well? But I kind of laid the Robbie T name to rest a few years back because I was doing a lot of remixes of Robbie T and I didn't really do enough original stuff. So I'm not answering the question until but tangents aside, I'm going to go ahead anyway. I was doing a lot of remixes of Robbie T, and then when it came to doing original stuff, I started getting artists in the studio recording vocals and stuff, and I was putting out stuff as Robbie T. People were coming back to me going, yeah, who's this a remix of? And I was like, no, it's not a remix. And people couldn't seem to get their heads around it, so I was like, maybe it's time to start fresh.
Yeah.
I like to name Phonetix, it's kind of got personal meaning to me as well. So yeah, so I went with that and we've done anything with Robbie T. But people, for some reason, I don't know if it's because Robbie T is more personal or because I am Rob. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of, people still address me as Robbie T. Do you know what I mean? My mates, the people I work with in music, everyone addresses my manager addresses me as Robbie T. Shocking, I'll allow it this fast. Yeah, about me, sorry, I put my drink down. How rude of me. Yeah, I'm Phonetix, formerly known as Robbie T. I'm a producer based out of Surrey. Predominantly work in UKGarage, doing a bit of everything else, but yeah, we're going to concentrate on Garage obviously for this evening. A bit about myself. Musical background. I was saying to you earlier, wasn't I saw a pianist when I was younger who absolutely smacked it, and I just thought, yeah, I want to take up the piano. So I held out my parents for ages until they sent me for piano lessons. And then I later picked up the guitar. Sort of soon started getting a bit bored of playing other people's material, so probably I would say, I don't know, 11, 12, started writing my own songs. Just real cheesy pop, love to take that time, all of that sort of thing. Come on, I was young and naive. You know, dance music had never really entered my mind until I've got a brother who's 5 years older than me. He started going clubbing and he was well into hardcore, because happy hardcore and jungle all the rage then. So he started, I suppose I owe him really because it was him playing that stuff. And some of the really early Speed Garage, I recall him playing the Armin van Helden remix of Professional Widow by Victoria Aegis, that sort of thing. And it was only then that I kind of started coming around to the idea of dance music. And I had a mate at school that I used to get the bus with, who used to bring in garage mixtapes. He had an older mate who used to DJ garage. It kind of came to my attention that way. I can't remember what the tune was, but I remember him saying to me one day, check this out, gave me an earphone, and I was just blown away by it. That's kind of the start. On the Walkman, tape before your time, I'm sure. Yeah,
no,
tape.
We had tape.
You had tape as well? I apologise. Back in the day, I tape, and that was kind of the start of my love affair with UKGarage. I kind of always stuck with it since. I can't really digress there. Yeah, about me. So anyway, I came into a bit of money as I was leaving school, some inheritance, and bought myself some decks and some production gear, some hardware. I'm back old school, the days of analog hardware. I got myself some synths and a sequencer. I used to sit there programming everything in with all these buttons. In hindsight, I love it. I miss it now, but obviously the new school lot, the new way of doing things is much bigger. So yeah, I got some hardware. Went to college, did music tech A level. Had a brilliant music tech teacher there who introduced me to Logic and the PC. There's a trail of thought there. Yeah, so I picked up Logic, did a lot of work, recording bands, that sort of rock side of things. So I kind of I had a good start in that sense, because a lot of people now just download a copy of Phonetix and start making beats like that. So I've got more of the background, do you know what I mean, without sounding arrogant. I did the music thing, I did the rock thing, I did the synthesis with the hardware, and then I went to Phonetix. From there, I did my A-level, went to uni, did a degree in music tech, where I learned NAFL. It was an absolute waste of 3 years of my life. But, sorry,
but if you are going to uni.
If any of my lecturers are watching this, I do apologise, but I don't really feel I learned much. I did have a bit when I did my masters, which was in composition. So obviously that was on the slide difference there. Composition with technology. So that was quite interesting. I'm going to upload a few bits to my website. I came up with a disc recently, all the course content, and some of it's really tricky. It's really experimental, more soundscape stuff than music, traditional music. So I'm going to upload some of that to my website, so be sure to check that out, because that would be interesting. Yeah, that kind of brings us up to almost up to present anyway. I did my masters in composition, and then I began my assault on the music industry, you can call it that.
Right. So do you have any tips and advice for young producers?
Are you supposed to ask me how I got started? There's a list of questions, right? I'm going to give them to you.
Don't read the list. Right. How did you get
You can edit that a little bit out, that's fine. How did I get started in UKGarage? As I was leaving uni, I was kind of in a bit of get my train of thought here. Right, at uni, as I was saying earlier, I didn't have a radio. I didn't have internet access because I was too poor. And the only club nights we really had were Grind, so we were seeing a lot of I think who had it when I was at uni. The ill kids, it was Sticky and the social circles of that network. We had to nail down, doing more the grime thing, and I kind of followed that. I don't know that I was necessarily into it, but that was kind of my music at the time. I didn't really even know that anyone was making garage, I just assumed they weren't. As I was leaving uni, I picked up the Usher Caught Up single, which had the Delinquent mix on there. Really liked that, was really feeling that. It reminded me of the old sort of garage that I liked. So I had a little look around, found the Garage Anthem single mixed by Cameo, which had a few Delinquent bits on it. I'm going to kind of repeat myself here, because we were having this conversation already, weren't we? But had Playing Around, which is a courtesy of mine to this day. It's in my top 10 garage tracks at the time. Like a Feather, I think Get the Queens on there as well. And I was really feeling that, vibe. So I borrowed my mate's digital radio, because I didn't have my own radio. Shocking as it sounds. And I started listening into EZs. was really feeling a lot of what I was hearing at that time. That time I think is, I know Duncan Powell always says that time, that era, 2004-2005 is his favourite era of garage, and I'm inclined to not necessarily agree, but there were some big tunes coming from it. It was, Artifacts around Mr. Bumpy, a lot of that sort of bouncy 4/4 stuff, and music was playing a lot of that, and the Artifact stuff really inspired me, so I started cracking on producing some of my own, just sort of minimal bumpy 4/4 flavors. Sent over a CD to Mizz, never expecting him to play it, it was just on a whim, and looked in the next week and he played this track, and it kind of inspired me. I thought, right, okay, I'm going to start making some more garage again. Because obviously up to that point I've been making a lot of grind over the past few years before that, and that was all so yeah, I started making garage again. Did the 4/4 remix of Fill Me In by Craig David, which a few of my mates were like, that's sick, you've got to do something like that. So I googled for the forums, I googled garage forums, bit ignorant to that sort of thing at the time, newly back to the internet. Went home to my parents' house where we could afford the internet, googled some of the garage forums, put a link up to that, and just kind of went nuts from there. It was a free download, and everyone loves a freebie. The tune was obviously, must have been alright, I guess, because a lot of people jumped on it. I started getting a lot of messages, a lot of emails, people saying, this is bad. And DJ Domino contacted me and said to me, I run a label called Winter Records. At the time I was a bit ignorant to that because I was only new, still getting back into garage. And he said he wanted me to do some tracks for Willa. Which of course to me was, I was like, yeah, sure, okay, sounds good. Didn't really know a lot about Dom at the time or Riddler either. Looked into it and, like Dom was one of the bigger DJs. I think it's unfortunate really that Dom moved out of the country and is still around the garage, because as a garage DJ I reckon he's second only to DJs. Have you ever heard Dom? I have to link you up, give you some of the CD, because man, he was sick. But he had a real business mind and he had a vision. I think he knew something that a lot of people didn't, because when you look at the artists he took on, he had himself, Paleface, Duncan Powell, Contreras, Charlie Says, a lot of guys who really did some big things and continue to do big things since now. Paleface is crazy cousins, they're moving and they just keep moving, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I owe a lot to Dom. He picked up on me through the film remix, and just started putting my tracks out on vinyl, pushing me around to people saying, this kid's good, check him out, and DJs started playing my tracks. Just kind of went on from there. That's how it started. That was a very long-winded way to answer that question, but we got there in the end.